So hello there, welcome to my video, and in this one I will explain to you how to solo the Blackout 3 mission with Mirage. Now this isn't cheating, I would call it a clever use of game mechanics, and I will kind of go through the thought process and what I did and how I eventually figured out how to do this, because this is a fairly long video. So Blackout 1 and 2, they were very easy. I went in on my Rhino Prime, did it with some random puggies. One-shot both of them, both Blackout 1 and Blackout 2. With Blackout 3, after failing about 20 times, I was kind of getting frustrated and annoyed. So what I decided to do is just go solo and go frame by frame and try to figure out what the hell am I supposed to do. And I was kind of recording it just in case something works, and it worked. So I started with Rhino Prime and very swiftly figured out that that's not gonna work, because even though I was going full power strength, full health, armor and shields, they would two-shot me. The first hit would knock off my iron skin, the second one would kill me, no matter what. They're just way too high level. So the second frame I went in on was Vauban, which was kind of good until I reached a point where my energy stopped regenerating and they just started zooming around without materializing in front of me. So what I would do is I would be in this room. This room is fairly key, and I thought I would be able to figure out a way to do this in this room, and eventually I did. So with Vauban, I was standing on the walls up high, and I was just throwing down balls which would stun them, and then I would hit them with my primary weapon. But I very swiftly ran out of ammo, and the balls aren't doing much damage. And at a point, as I've said, I would stop regenerating energy. That's probably something the devs hotfixed in. So after a certain amount of time or something, you just stop regenerating energy, even if you have energy siphon. And I was boned. Right, they would start zooming around, they would stop materializing in front of me, and I was boned. I couldn't do any damage to them. So then I went in on Loki, and I thought, you know what, maybe if I go invisible and I flail my Thibodeau around, I will hit them, and maybe I'll eventually kill them. But it was pretty much something similar to Vauban, where I would hit them twice, and after that they would start zooming around, and I couldn't really do anything. They wouldn't attack me, and eventually, because I don't have all the best mods, I would just run out of energy, and they would one-shot me. So after that, I went in on Nyx, and that was kind of alright. I was kind of disappointed that the mind control didn't work, but I found a big room where I could kite them, and after about 2 minutes of kiting them, and essentially just kiting them, getting up to 50 energy, popping absorb, letting them hit me a couple of times, and then unleashing it, I managed to kill one of them after about a minute or two. But it was still very slow, and it was very dodgy. When you're trying to figure out something like this, you need something simple so you don't screw it up. Okay, it has to be idiot-proof. So after that, I went in on Mirage, and I was thinking, and this is actually what I ended up doing in this corner. I was thinking, maybe if I pop Hall of Mirrors, and I managed to get one of the mirrors through a wall, and they somehow managed to favor that mirror, I can kill them with the Thibodeau, because it's very flaily. Alright. So what I ended up doing, as you can see on the screen right now, it took about 12 minutes to kill them all. As I stood in this corner, and I would just mash my melee button. That's all I would do. I would just spam my melee button, and when my Hall of Mirrors was about to run out, I would start spamming Hall of Mirrors again. So I would just keep bashing melee attack, and when Hall of Mirrors was about 3 seconds away from fading off, I would start spamming Hall of Mirrors, and you know what? It worked. I wouldn't call this cheating. It's a clever use of game mechanics. I had something like this in my mind. What I was trying to do before, as I was running around the room dying, is I was trying to get one of the mirrors to be reachable by them, but not me. So they would constantly jump onto the mirror, and as I was flailing around, I would hit them occasionally. But this worked out much better, as I was able to get one of the mirrors through the wall, and they just wanted to kill that one instead of me. Now, at some point, One of them stood really close to me. I think there was a couple of them behind me, because there's a point in the video where one of them comes really close to me and then disappears again. So I think I was hitting them up front, but I was hitting at least one of them behind my back, and I just couldn't see him at all. So this is what I ended up doing. If you want to do it, well, you can, but I hope I don't get banned. So, you know, do it at your own risk. But I would call it a clever use of game mechanics. I wasn't trying to be, you know, a dick. I was just testing out Warframes, and suddenly something started working. So I was like, maybe I can kill them. And I eventually did. So I think I'll speed this part up. So, yeah, eventually they all died. I went to the extraction, and I got my thing. So there you go. How to do Blackout 3 with Mirage solo. And I thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.